Your backyard could produce more protein per square meter than a cattle farm. Not someday, not with high-tech equipment. Starting 3 months from now, a space the size of a parking spot, 350 pounds of fish per year. From water you fill once, and an ecosystem that runs itself for decades. No feed bags, no machines, no daily work. Auburn University proved it in the 1960s. 90 square meters of water outperformed an entire acre of pasture land. The knowledge is 2,400 years old. Chinese farmers documented it when Rome was still a village. And today, almost nobody knows it exists. Not because it doesn't work, but because it works too well. A system that is built once and feeds your family for 50 years sells no fertilizer subscriptions, no feed contracts, no spare parts. So, it was quietly buried under ornamental koi ponds and decorative fountains that look beautiful but produce exactly 0 calories. Ask yourself, why did they have to prevent you from knowing about it? Stay tuned, because in the next 10 minutes, I will show you how to build a living food factory that your grandchildren will still be harvesting from. 1960s. Auburn University, Alabama. A team of agricultural scientists faced a problem that seemed impossible to solve with conventional thinking. The world population was exploding. Farmland was shrinking. Traditional livestock farming required massive inputs: feed, medicine, infrastructure, erects that small farmers could not afford. Dr. Homer Swingle and his team decided to test something radical. Could tiny backyard ponds outperform industrial cattle farming? They built experimental systems barely larger than a swimming pool. 1,000 square feet of water, 4 to 5 feet deep. They stocked them with native fish, bluegill, and channel catfish, fish that could live on insects, plankton, and algae. No additional feeding, no filtration systems, just sunlight, water, and time. The results shocked the agricultural world. 350 pounds of fish per year from 90 square meters. For comparison, a 1 acre of pasture, 40 times larger, might produce 400 pounds of beef and requires daily feeding, veterinary care, fencing, and shelter. These ponds ran themselves. The mechanism was elegant. Sunlight fed algae. Plankton ate algae. Fish ate plankton. Waste became nutrients. The cycle repeated endlessly. The pond was a living food factory. But Auburn didn't discover anything new. They rediscovered something old. 2,400 years earlier, a Chinese farmer named Fan Li documented exactly this system in a text called Yang Yu Jing. His insight was simple. Nature doesn't need us. We just need to stop interfering. By the 7th century, farmers of the Tang dynasty had perfected polyculture, keeping multiple fish species in the same pond. Surface feeders, mid-water filter feeders, bottom feeders, no competition, no waste, maximum efficiency. European traders traveling through China in the 12th century reported something that amazed them. Villages surrounded by ponds that had continuously produced food for hundreds of years. And yet, when Europeans emigrated to North America, they brought cattle, pigs, and chickens. Systems that require constant inputs and daily labor. Pond-based food production seemed too simple to be legitimate. Ponds became decorative, but useless. The knowledge didn't die. It was simply buried under cultural amnesia and economic incentives that benefit from dependency, not autonomy. The Auburn system works through 4 interconnected components, all operating within a natural biological cycle. Component 1. Ducks. 3 to 5 ducks produce 1,200 to 1,700 eggs per year, while simultaneously serving as the nitrogen engine of the entire ecosystem. As they paddle across the surface, their movement stirs up bottom sediments and releases bound nutrients. But their real contribution is their waste. Duck manure contains nitrogen that becomes the trigger for the entire food chain. Nitrogen feeds algae. Algae feeds plankton. Plankton feeds fish. Component 2. Aquatic plants. Cattails, water lilies, and duckweed function as biological filters. Their roots absorb excess nitrates and phosphorus, keep water chemistry balanced, and prevent toxic algal blooms. Duckweed is especially remarkable. Under ideal conditions, it doubles its biomass every 48 hours and contains 25 to 45% protein. Ducks eat it. Component 3. Fish. The system works because different species occupy different ecological niches. Bluegill reproduces multiple times per warm season. They are the backbone, a self-sustaining population that feeds on insects, plankton, and small aquatic organisms near the surface. Channel catfish. Bottom feeders that tolerate wide temperature ranges and poor water conditions. They eat detritus, insects, and organic material in the sediment and recycle nutrients back into the ecosystem. Growth rate, 1 to 3 pounds in 12 months in southern climates. Bass controls the overpopulation of bluegill by eating juveniles, maintains balance, harvest size in 2 to 3 years. Each species uses a different food source. No competition, no waste. Maximum efficiency. Component 4. Beneficial bacteria. Invisible, but fundamental. These microorganisms drive the nitrogen cycle, converting toxic ammonia from fish waste into nitrate and then into nitrate that plants can absorb. Waste becomes food. Food becomes waste. The cycle sustains itself indefinitely. When these 4 components stabilize together, typically within 6 to 12 months, you are no longer operating a farm. You are harvesting from a living ecosystem that regulates itself. All right. I will now strictly adhere to this. 1-to-1, complete. No shortening, no summarizing. Beyond 350 pounds of fish annually, the real value grows over time. 1,200 to 1,700 duck eggs per year. That's 23 to 33 eggs weekly. Production from ducks that simultaneously fertilize your entire pond system. No ongoing costs. After year 1, you buy nothing. No feed, no supplements, no maintenance contracts. The system feeds itself indefinitely. Water storage and microclimate regulation. The pond collects rainwater, cools your property in summer, attracts beneficial insects like dragonflies that eliminate mosquitoes, and creates habitat for frogs that provide natural pest control for your garden. Educational value. Children learn ecology, food production, responsibility, and biology. The long-term promise. In Asia, ponds exist that have continuously produced food for over 300 years. Once built correctly, the system operates through the first year of establishment. Full harvest from year 2 when fish begin to reproduce themselves. Full ecosystem autonomy from year 3. This is not a project. It is a legacy for your grandchildren. The knowledge was not suppressed by legislation. It was displaced by economic incentives. When European settlers came to North America, they brought cattle, pigs, chickens, systems that required daily feed, shelter, veterinary care, and constant labor. This model could be scaled industrially. Feed companies profited. Equipment manufacturers profited. Dependency emerged. A pond that is built once and produces for 50 years? No recurring revenue, no spare parts, no subscription model. The knowledge didn't die. It was simply cut off from economic oxygen until it suffocated in cultural memory. But forgetting is not permanent. Part 1. Planning and site selection. Minimum functional size, 13 feet by 16 feet. Minimum depth, 4 feet. That's about 200 square feet of surface, roughly the size of a single parking space. Why this depth? Prevents complete freezing in northern winters, maintains stable summer temperatures, provides sufficient volume for nitrogen cycle stability. Site criteria. First, at least 6 hours of direct sunlight daily for algae production. Second, level ground, checked with a spirit level. Sloped surfaces create uneven water depth and liner stress. Third, proximity to a water source for occasional refilling due to evaporation. Fourth, at least 10 feet distance from trees to prevent root damage and leaf accumulation. Fifth, avoid low areas where runoff could flood the pond. Part 2. Materials required materials. 45 mil EPDM pond liner measuring 20 feet by 25 feet. Underlayment fabric in matching dimensions. Half a cubic yard of sand for base preparation. 150 pounds of river stones for edge design. Aquatic plants including water lilies, cattails, and duckweed. Part 3. Construction steps. Step 1. Excavation. This is the physically demanding part. Mark your shape with spray paint or a garden hose. Dig in tiers. First tier 8 to 12 inches deep and 12 to 16 inches wide for edge plants. Second tier another 16 to 20 inches deeper. The central zone goes another 16 to 20 inches deeper for a total depth of 4 to 5 feet. Why tiers? Different plants require different depths. Prevents soil collapse, creates diverse habitat zones. Time required 1 to 2 days depending on soil type and fitness level. Step 2. Base preparation. Remove all sharp stones, roots, and debris. Every puncture point leads to catastrophic failure. Spread 2 to 4 inches of sand over the entire bottom and smooth it completely. Install the underlayment fabric with at least 12 inches overlap at seams. This cushioning layer is non-negotiable. Step 3. Liner installation. Calculate liner size, pond length plus twice the depth plus 2 feet edge overlap. Same formula for width. For a 13 by 16 foot pond at 5 feet depth, you need 25 by 28 feet of liner. Install on a warm sunny day when the material is most flexible. Lay the liner loosely over the hole. Begin slowly filling with a garden hose. As water level rises, press the liner into the tiers and smooth wrinkles. Do not aim for perfection. Wrinkles are normal and will be hidden by stones and plants. Step 4. Edge finishing. Spread excess liner flat around the edge, with at least 18 inches extending beyond the pond edge. Weigh it down with heavy river stones. Trim excess liner leaving at least 12 inches under the stones. Add decorative rocks, gravel, or plants to fully conceal the edge. Part 4. Fish stocking. Timing, species, quantities. Critical rule: do not add fish immediately. The pond needs 2 to 3 months to develop biological balance. Month 1 to 2, plants only. No fish. Install water lilies, cattails, duckweed. The water will become slightly cloudy as algae grow. This is good. Microorganisms establish, plankton develops. Optional: add 3 to 5 ducks in the first month to initiate the nitrogen cycle. Month 3, add first fish. Why now? Nitrogen cycle established. Food sources available. Beneficial bacteria colonies active. Species selection for American climate. For most U.S. regions, these native species work reliably. Bluegill. Extremely hardy, winter hardy to zone 5, reproduces naturally and forms a self-sustaining population. Channel catfish, tolerates wide temperature ranges, ideal for southern states, grows 1 to 3 pounds in 12 months. 3-star rating. Largemouth bass, optional predator to control bluegill overpopulation. Harvest size in 2 to 3 years. Do not use tilapia in climates with winter temperatures below 50 degrees Fahrenheit. They die. Only suitable for zones 9 to 11 or with greenhouse protection. Stocking density. Beginner stocking planned for 650-gallon pond. Option A, bluegill system. Start with 25 to 30 bluegill juveniles 2 to 3 inches long. Year 1, they grow to 4 to 6 inches. Year 2, they begin reproducing naturally. Harvest the largest fish from year 2 and allow smaller ones to continue growing. Self-sustaining from year 2. Option B, bluegill plus catfish. Start with 20 bluegill and 5 to 10 channel catfish. Bluegill reproduce and provide food. Catfish grow faster, reaching 1 to 2 pounds by year 2. No competition. Option C, full polyculture. 30 bluegill, 10 catfish, 3 to 5 bass. Bass control population. Requires understanding of predator-prey dynamics. Progressive stocking. Month 3, 10 fish total. Month 6, additional 5 to 10. Net year 2. Natural reproduction begins. Year 3. Fully self-sustaining. Sources: fish hatcheries, state programs, farm supply, online. Common mistakes: too many fish leads to all die. Stock too early leads to nitrogen cycle missing. Only one species leads to inefficiency. Tilapia in cold leads to total loss. Part 5. Maintenance and harvest daily. Nothing required. Monthly, check water level, refill in summer, remove excess duckweed and compost it, feed it to chickens, and eat it yourself. Annually, remove leaves in fall, cut dead plants in spring, keep an ice hole open in winter. Harvest, net or fishing rod. Timing, fall. Only remove large fish. Realistic yield, year 1 0, year 2 20 to 30 pounds, year 3 40 to 60 pounds annually without supplemental feeding. Tom, 67, retired electrician, in Georgia. I built my pond in 2018 and thought it was just something I could do with my grandson. Thought we'd catch a few fish, have fun. In the third year, we pulled 62 bluegill and 14 catfish, 78 pounds total. My grandson is 12 now. Every time he visits, we fish. I'm teaching him how to produce his own food. You can't put a price on that. Sarah and Mike, both 39, 2 children, Oregon. We built ours during the pandemic when shelves were empty and we realized how fragile everything is. Our kids, 9 and 11, helped dig. First year observing, second year 43 pounds of fish plus over 1,000 eggs. The kids understand the nitrogen cycle better than I did in college. James, 32, software developer, Texas. I completely messed it up the first time. Stocked 30 fish on the first day. Went on 2 weeks later, all dead. Second attempt, I added only 5. Now there are over 80 fish. Lesson, patience. While food prices rise, supply chains are fragile, and agriculture destroys soils. The solution lies in your backyard. 13 by 16 feet, $400 to $600, 1 weekend of work, then decades of production. This is food sovereignty.